consultas y se quieren A Covergenius é a Insurtech global líder em seguros integrados. Nosso objetivo é proteger os clientes das maiores empresas digitais do mundo. Hoje, por meio da Xcover, nossa plataforma de distribuição, atendemos parceiros como Amazon, eBay, Booking, Decolar, entre outros. Com presença em mais de 60 países, proporcionamos a nossos parceiros a possibilidade de integrar e oferecer qualquer linha de seguro ou garantia aos seus clientes por meio de uma única app. Nossos pagamentos instantâneos para sinistros são aprovados e pagos em mais de 90 moedas, colocando os nossos clientes no centro de tudo o que fazemos. Nosso Net Promoter Score, NPS, é de mais de 65 pontos, líder na indústria de seguros, nos garantindo milhões de clientes satisfeitos.
Hello everyone, I'm Natalia Sinai, Insurtech and FinTech Conference Director for Latam in CMS Group. Thanks for being with us in Insurtech Latam Forum. We hope you are enjoying it as much as we are. I am glad to present the next panel of the day. It's SuperApps and Embedded Insurance, a frictionless journey. How do the concepts of SuperApps and embedded insurance interact? For those who are passionate about innovation in insurance, we are going to deal with these two topics in a related way, which are two of the biggest hot topics worldwide. To moderate this panel, we have an Insurtech influencer, leader of insurance in Latam, CEO of Digital Insurance Latam, and co-organizer of the Insurtech Latam Forum. He is Hugues Bertin. Welcome, Hugues. How are you?
Hello, Nati. Hello, everybody. So thank you so much for the invitation to moderate this amazing room panel with rock stars today. So we need to speak in English in order to communicate to the world and to disclose Latin American ecosystem to the world. So thank you so much for the invitation. We are right now go to Brazil because in 2 days we have the physical event in Brazil, in São Paulo. Okay, so we are waiting for you for in order to meet in person. But right now we have this amazing room panel about super app and embedded insurance. And for your information, we're going to talk about 1 hour, and we're going to go through the definition of embedded insurance, what are the main challenges of super apps like Mercado Libre. So thank you so much, Carlos, to be here. And we're going to talk about business case, concrete business case, about metrics, and at the final of the root table, we are waiting for the breaking news for every player. So I don't know what we are going to understand for today, but so great. So thank you so much to be there. I think that Carlos is with us, Jose from Covergenius too. So Rodrigo too, and Adrien Lebegue from France. You are here, yes, from airport. So it's amazing. So great. So go directly to the first question. I'm going to ask for Carlos to understand. So Carlos, as head of Insurtech insurance of Mercado Libre, a new player in insurance space. So right, great. So please, Carlos, the first question perhaps is what Mercado Libre has done until now in embedded insurance and in insurance in Argentina, in Brazil, and what are the next steps?
Okay, thanks, Hugues. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for my panel's colleagues here as well for the time. Basically, we've started our Insurtech business, I would say 3 years ago. We started selling extended warranties, and further on we passed on to robbery and damage insurance in our commerce segment, let's say. As you know, Mercado Libre is a very big ecosystem, and part of it, what we will call the yellow world, is our marketplace. We have a lot of contextual information, and also there's many transactions happening in that marketplace. So we see a relevant opportunity to serve our customers by providing relevant insurance in a very, let's say, contextual way. But after that, we started to increase our span, moving on to fintech as well, and started to embed insurance within our fintech ecosystem as well. So we started covering for our wallets and our digital account in Brazil, and protecting our credit card holders as well. And since June, we also started to sell life insurance with health assistances such as telemedicine, dental care, and other sorts for both of our key segments, right? So as you know, we have very large number of consumers and payers, and we have a very large number of sellers and merchants. Each of them have very clear needs. So our involvement in the insurance space is actually a response to fulfill those needs and bring them stability, reduce the vulnerability that they are, let's say, exposed to in Latam, right?
So thank you, Carlos. And you know that I am always, it's very strange because when I talk about Mercado Libre in Peru, in Colombia, in Mexico, sometimes, yes, they don't know what is the power of Mercado Libre. So how many policies, how many certificates have you sold right now? If it's not...
No, we can go ahead with that because we've just announced it in our PR. But for the moment, we have 2 million insurance active insurances and insurance policies in the region.
Okay, great. So 2 million, yes. Great, amazing. In 3 years is amazing. So great. Rodrigo, I know you are in Mexico today, and you had head of digital in Latam for Chubb, and you are a huge player for embedded insurance space for Chubb, because Chubb is a traditional insurer, but you have a very huge vertical in embedded insurance. So first, for you, the question is, what is for you embedded insurance? What is the meaning of this word, this buzzword, and what have you done in Chubb?
Hi, Hugues. Thank you for having me in the event. Like always, a pleasure to be here and sharing some of our experiences and history with digital in the insurance sector, right? And hello to all my fellow panelists. Also a pleasure to be with you today. So, Hugues, going back to your question, for us, embedded insurance has been a journey, actually, right? We started this 6 years ago, the transformation in Chubb, enabling new technologies, new products, new services, and also improving our skills within the different teams that we had in the region. And it has been a fantastic journey, right? Where we have been learning a lot with partners, mostly in the consumer space, where we work together with many different kind of partners. Right now, we have 200 partners worldwide, where we work with embedded insurance programs, reaching around 300 million customers worldwide. And the good news for Latin America is that more or less a third of that is being produced here in Latin America, which is fantastic for us. And in terms of what is embedded insurance, for us, embedded insurance is a proposition that is attached or add to a core product, a core service, a core journey that other platforms are offering to their customers, and looking to add value to that core product, that core service, whether to complement it or differentiate it from other competitors that they have, or even reducing pain points, anxiety, or some other feelings that the customers might have at the moment that they engage with that product, right? The way we see it is that it has to make sense for the customer, right? The proposition that insurance brings has to make sense, especially if the insurance is new for that platform, or is not their core business is not insurance, right? So it has to make sense and reduce friction, add value at that specific point. So for that, there are several different ways of doing it, right? It will depend a lot of the business model the platform has or the partner has, the users that they are serving, at what time of the journey they are, etc. Right? So better insurance, it could entail a lot of different things depending on the platform, the customers, the moment, etc. But basically, for us, is that, right? Adding value to that core service, that core product, and providing a good experience for the customer.
Okay, great. So thank you. Yes, and I think that in the business case, I think that we must to talk about Chubb Studio, because I think that the case of Chubb is very interesting, because you are the traditional insurer to have a unit dedicated to embedded insurance in particular. So I think it's great to understand. I'm going to switch with Adrien. Adrien, do you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, very well, Hugues, very well.
Yeah, so thank you. So I am so happy to receive Adrien because Adrien is in the airport like me. But the point is, Adrien is managing director Europe of Zhong Tech, and as you know, for the people that they follow me, I love Zhong. So I would like to if you can talk 2 minutes in numbers about Zhong. And the question is, what have you done in embedded insurance? So if you want to talk about that, I think it could be very interesting.
Very happy to do that, and hi to fellow panelists. It's a great pleasure to be there, even though we're not operating in Latin America for the time being, but it's still extremely exciting to be taking part of that conversation. So for the one that do not know Zhong, it's actually probably one of the pioneers that have invented, maybe before embedded insurance, the terms was, ecosystem business models. And almost 10 years ago, the largest e-commerce, social media, and insurer came together in the China market to create a digital P&C insurance company that has basically focused purely on digital native ecosystem, embedded business models. And the number, of course, it's larger than the one that Carlo mentioned, but it's almost 10 years, is 20 billion insurance policies issued on an accumulated basis. And what's very fantastic about it is we realize actually the journey was still very early globally. And we realized that actually building up an offering to help platforms and to help insurers worldwide was our way to expand. And that's what at Tech I'm actually doing, sharing knowledge and trying to bring the market to the next level through knowledge sharing, education, technology, people. And that's what we're really excited to do across Asia Pacific and Europe much more recently.
So for sure, Zhong with 20 billion certificates is at other level, but we are very small in Latin America. We are very humble for that, so no problem for that. So with Chubb, Covergenius, and Mercado Libre, in 2 years we are at 20 billion certificates. No problem for that. Jose, Chief Insurance Officer of Covergenius Latam. I think it could be very interesting to understand what have you done, because Covergenius is a little bit less known in Latin America, but in my opinion, it's one of the best Insurtech in embedded insurance space. So please, Jose, I don't know if you are here. Yeah.
Yes, I am with you, Hugh. Thank you for the introduction. Actually, Covergenius, we claim to be the Insurtech for embedded insurance that protect the global customers of some of the largest digital companies in the world. That is our mission. That is what we do. We are very much, when we talk about embedded insurance, we are talking about embedding the insurance software in the customer journey. And we look at 4 things when we do that. It needs to be the right product at the right place, at the right time, and at the right price. Okay, so those 4 things are critical in our view to be successful. And we operate across all verticals. Of course, travel is a significant vertical to us, as well as retail. But you were mentioning before auto insurance, we are very much also active in the auto mobility, and in the gig economy and logistics and fintech. So we believe that embedded insurance is a concept that is applicable regardless of the vertical to which we are speaking, always talking about the digital economy, of course. And we are a global company. Our headquarters for the Americas are in New York, but about a year ago, we decided to come south, and now we have a headquarters in Uruguay for Latin America, and we are in the process of also opening offices in some other markets in the region that we think are strategic to us. Having said that, we are already operating in the region with some significance in various markets from Mexico down to Brazil.
Okay, and Jose, what is your opinion about the level of maturity of Latin American market about embedded insurance, if you compare with other market?
It varies. It varies by market. I mean, it depends what we understand by embedded insurance. Many digital companies understand embedded insurance as having insurance available in their marketplace or having insurance available in the digital side, so in the digital arm of the company. And for us, clearly, the definition of embedded insurance is there need to be a transaction that is enabling adding an insurance product, something that Rodrigo was mentioning before. There need to be a connection between the insurance product and the transaction that is happening online. That is not necessarily that well developed across the region. Many companies are offering insurance online. Not necessarily many are embedding the right product at the right time for the right transaction.
Okay, great. And yes, I'm going to make a question from this side to Rodrigo, because Chubb is a traditional insurer that is moving very quickly into a digital transformation space. What is your opinion about embedded insurance? Because sometimes when we talk about embedded insurance, we say, okay, it's a little bit a push model, an unfair model, okay, for the clients, because we are trying to push the sale of the product, like in bank assurance and something else. So what is your opinion about that?
I think I agree with Jose that there are different ways of embedding the product, right? You could have a specific insurance section within a bank, a retailer, or even a digital native company, or you can add the insurance proposition within a specific journey when you are, I don't know, purchasing some product like Mercado Libre has on their platform, on the yellow space, as Carlos mentioned, where they offer the extended warranty or other products attaching to that particular product that they are buying, right? So in that sense, I don't think it feels like a push product there, right? Because it's kind of relevant to that specific moment that the customer is living or experiencing, which is basically, in the case of the example of Mercado Libre, purchasing a cell phone or an electronic, right? So that offering of the product adds value to the proposition of the cell phone itself, because now the customer might feel more protected in case something happens to that product that they're buying, right? Or the same thing has been happening for quite some time until we rename it embedded insurance with airlines, right? When you're purchasing an airline ticket and they offer you travel insurance, and that has been happening for quite a few years now, at least in Latin America. So in those cases, I don't see embedded insurance as a push product, really. I see as a very contextual offering, makes sense at the time, at the journey that the customer is going through. And I feel more that it's relevant, right? And then you can see that because of also how successful those programs are versus other programs or other embedded experiences, where it could certainly feel more a push proposition, right? But that, again, in our opinion, in our experience, what we have seen across the world is that that is not as successful as the other propositions, and you can see in the industry as a whole that they're moving more towards that direction rather than offering or designing a push strategy, right?
Yeah, also thank you. Yes, I think that you're right when you say the right product at the right moment. I think that is the difference between a typically push bank assurance. So it's also great. Yeah. So I would like to switch to other topics right now and to talk about your best business case you want to share with us. And please, it could be great if you can share some metrics, some KPI, because as you know, I like the figures. So perhaps I would like to begin with Carlos. Carlos, would you want to share what is your, from Mercado Libre, the best success that you have right now?
Thank you. So it depends on the maturity of the business that we are analyzing. As I mentioned before, we started with extended warranty, and this is a product that we have much more experience in right now. So we've come to another phase. Let's say we're not necessarily, building the product. We are adjusting the product. So I guess that the best business case is a function of the time as well, right? So we just launched life insurance in Brazil, and it's performing super well. And we are seeing that, for example, our users are using the assistances that the product comes with. So many cases of usage of telemedicine, of dental insurance, and other parts of the product that we thought that were going to add value. Of course, that's why we built them. But the level of usage that we are seeing is super satisfactory. So for now, so we don't have built yet the base that we have extended warranty, for example. But indicators are very interesting in terms of one of the indicators we like the most, which is the NPS and the level of satisfaction that our customers experience with these products. So I would say that, again, just to be short on the answer, it depends on which stage and what we're looking for, what is the KPI that we're trying to look into. I'd rather stay with the experience KPI, and in that case, I guess that our product in life insurance, despite being quite new, is showing very relevant and promising figures.
Yes, and I remember last year, Carlos, you said to us that your ambition was to make insurance more inclusive and to can protect more and more people, and that is the ambition of Mercado Libre that that can reach to every part of the pyramid in Latin America. And 1 year after, I think that with life insurance, you are reaching to this. The base of the pyramid. So, wow, great.
I guess just to add on that, build on that, Hugues. So I think, and this is very much related to what my colleagues said before in their airtime. But basically, I think that what is new in the market is that I think that the distribution side has realized that if you don't actually take care of the experience, then and embed, which means like embed, right? Like force. I think that last year we kind of made a clear distinction between embedding and enforcing. If you enforce, then it's not a long-term relationship that you're building with the customer, and that, given that all flows are turning digital, and it's very easy to cancel policy. You don't have to go through a very, let's say, awkward and hectic process. You can cancel the policy just with one click. If you don't build a good experience, then it's just a short-term view. That's our point. If we don't build a good experience, then figures are just going to go down in the medium to long run.
Yeah, great. Adrien, in your 20 billion certificate, do you have some successful business case you can share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the main question is really when you start an insurance vertical, embedded or other ways, I think it's really about what do you want to achieve on the longer run. When you are a platform, when you are a super app, what actually is your ultimate goal? And depending on the stage of maturity where you are, depending on your customers, their appetites, the pain points you're facing also in your growth. I'm sure Carlos would have a lot of nightmares about the colleagues pushing you to help them in their own challenges. I think this is how you ultimately craft the right insurance proposition to be relevant for customers. And at the end, in my view, we're very, very strong belief that insurance is there to tackle the pain points and help the platform to truly become a super app and to tackle a massive issue, which is about education. Because in a lot of emerging markets, you look at insurance with, maybe our eyes, very financially savvy individuals. But for many of the customers of Mercado Libre, maybe they will purchase their first policy with Mercado Libre. And I think if that's the purpose, then you can really embark in the multi-year journey, being relevant to your customers and becoming really on top of their mind. Also for insurance and not just for mobile phones. It can really go bigger than that. If you achieve that stage, in our experience, what we have done with the biggest platform across ecosystems in China, but also across Asia Pacific, massive platform might become top 5 largest insurance distributor in the market. That's my bet for Carlos and Mercado Libre. I might not put a timeline to that, but I really wish and hope the entire Latin America ecosystem takes off and Mercado Libre hopefully becomes in the top 5 of the biggest insurance distributor, number 1 in NPS. That's my hope and my dream for you, Carlos.
Yes, and only a point, Adrien. Zhong is only an Insurtech from the technology point of view, or do you have some careers solution for the platform?
So actually both, but depends on the geography. So China and Hong Kong, we have our own licenses, PNC, life, and also banking, which is actually extremely powerful. Beyond China and Hong Kong, we operate purely as a technology B2B, an enabler, which actually means we help big brands, Prudential, Zurich, Generali, AIA, go into ecosystem play. And we help platforms, the like of Yahoo Japan, which is the biggest e-commerce, on the payment, on the mobility. You have people like Grab or Ovo, Indonesia, for instance. And we help them go into the embedded play in an accelerated fashion. What they could do by their own in 5 years, we help them achieve and overperform in just 2 years.
Okay, great. Rodrigo, I would like to, if you can share with us what is for you in the last year, the best business case you have in Latin America. You have a lot, so please select only one. And if you can share some KPI or metrics, could be great.
Yeah, sure, Hugues. Like I said at the beginning, right? It's hard to pick just one when we are working with more than 200 partners globally, right, on embedded programs, and quite many of those here in Latam, right? It's hard to pick just one, right? There are so different experiences and cases that we have been developing over the years, and that sometimes you get very nice surprises of what you can achieve with those experiences and those products, and that also something that we try to follow a lot, because that also enables us to learn faster and replicate those experiences across the world. Even though we are a big corporation, we are very keen to share experiences and practices across all regions, right? So my colleagues in Asia share what we are doing there, or in Europe, or in US, and the same here in Latam, where we proudly export some of our best cases, right? And I think that that also allow us to accelerate programs and offer a quite compelling catalog of solutions, and at the same time, we are very keen to develop or co-design solutions with our partners. Let's remember that we manufacture insurance, right? We are a manufacturing insurance company, and then we enable those products, those experiences through technology to our different partners, right? And going back to your question, I think a very well-known case in the region is obviously what we have done with Nubank in Brazil. I think it has been a phenomenal success, right? And also because of what they have done in the banking sector, right? And they have approached the insurance sector with the same ambition, the same obsession with the customer, the same approach, and that has allowed them, together with us, to build that phenomenal case with the live product in Brazil, and now we are rolling out more products with them. So I'll say that's a good case that we are very proud, because also has challenged many of the very well or traditionally known aspects of insurance, right? Especially with life insurance, that people young don't buy insurance, life insurance, or it's complicated, or the experience is awful, or they don't know what they have and all that, right? And then you start seeing the success that we have had with Nubank. I've seen NPS of sometimes around 90, right? Not only with Nubank, but with Nubank we have reached that and more in some months. Not at the point of sale, but also at the point of the claims experience, which also is as relevant as the sale experience. I think someone was mentioning that the experience at the sale will also translate in not a long-term relationship with the customer, and that's definitely true. We see it every time. If the sale is not as transparent, as friendly, as clear to the customer, later on the churns or the permanency with the product is completely different, right? So that's something also that we care a lot, how we develop, how we co-design a better claims experience as well, right? And so I have to say that, Hugues, the Nubank cases has been something that has taught us quite a lot of things. But again, it's very hard to pick just one, right?
No, but the point is that is very interesting, because in the world we know that it's very difficult to sell life insurance only with embedded insurance, with life digital journey. And in the case of Nubank in Brazil and the case of Mercado Libre in Brazil, there are two huge examples to sell life insurance by digital way. So, wow. I think that in that case, Latin America was on the first mover in the world. And I would like to ask for the same question to Jose in Covergenius. And I'm going to bundle my question with other question, is to understand how do you help, because it's a question of the audience, how do you help your partner to make growing the result of insurance?
Yeah, thank you, Hugh. One of the critical elements is something that we spoke at the beginning. There need to be a connection between the insurance product and the transaction, that being a service or a product that person is purchasing digitally. If there's no connection, we see some difficulties in having a useful and significant penetration rate. That is one of the key elements. Besides that, for us, what is more important is to offer an end-to-end solution. And by that, we mean not just having the distribution of embedded insurance, the distribution of insurance, which is critical, but also having the capabilities to handle the back end. So for us, it's as important that the customer has a great experience when he purchases the insurance as it is that he has a great experience when he's putting forward a claim, when he comes to us because there is a claim. So that is holistic view of the customer journey. The customer journey when you buy insurance and the customer journey when you are placing a claim, we believe that enhance the quality of the customer satisfaction, not with us, with that partner that we have. Could be a retailer, could be an OTA, could be a fintech. So it's very important how we treat customers. Something that Carlos was mentioning, the NPS. The NPS is critical. It's critical to us because it's critical to our partners. Talking about a success case, for example, is what we do in Brazil right now with rental cover, which is deductible insurance or seguro de franquia, as they call local in Brazil. Now we are offering that product in Brazil to Brazilians with local underwriters, and we have launched with about 15 partners over there, the likes of rentalcars.com, which is a booking company, Rent Cars, which is a Brazilian company, Kayak, Agoda. So how we treat them at the time of a claim is as relevant as how we distribute the insurance in the first place. And that is the view we take for the customers. And that is very much valued by our partners.
Okay. And so if I want to make a summary, we've talked about Mercado Libre, life insurance, about new bank. In your case, Jose, what is your best business case you want to mention in the world?
Well, in the world, we have a couple, but I want to mention one, which is the one I was mentioning because it's relevant to Latam, because it's the first product we have now deployed locally in Brazil, which is rental cover. Rental cover is when you rent a car, the insurance of the deductible, the insurance of the excess on that car, and you can see, particularly when you're looking at that product, that in Europe, the penetration is very significant. In the US, it's very significant, but also in countries like Brazil, it's very significant. The appetite is there, and if at the time of a claim you treat them properly, that is a tremendous value, not just for us, but more important for our partners.
Okay. So I'm going to switch to other hot topics is about claims management. Because as you know, and Carlos say, in Latin America, people say, hey, Amazon, Mercado Libre, okay, we'll sell insurance, but what about claims management? So, Carlos, what is your opinion about that? How could you manage that point? And so, feel free.
So what you guys know is that, I mean, we work with insurance companies. We are not manufacturers, to quote Rodrigo, of insurance. We distribute, and part of our focus is to give our users the best insurance solution that they can have. So what we try to do is basically host part of the claims experience within our app, like typical phases like first notice of loss, try to embed a messaging system or something that we can try to help, or sometimes audit in order to ensure, let's say, the minimum level of NPS. That's what we try to do. There's a lot that we're learning in the process. And the way that we see it is just something that needs to mature a bit more in the industry. I mean, when we started, I'm going to quote an example. The same type of relationship towards the business that we're having currently in insurance is the one that we've addressed in our shipping business. We don't ship our products directly. As you guys know, we work with private or public post offices and couriers, and as you guys know, all the companies that you can think of, these companies are currently working with us. At the beginning, we started to try to interact and trying to play the game, trying to measure NPS, and the friction started at the beginning, especially with the smallest, let's say, carriers. But then at the end, when you start providing technology and you start putting, raising the bar constantly with technology, then there's a point in time where that friction starts to disappear. There's always going to be friction, but if you provide like a good technological solution, then that friction starts to let's say diminish, and that's what we are hoping for in the claims process as well. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we're working with our partners currently in order for them to help us help our users. But in the end, having the freshness of our native digital company is also and bringing that into the insurance market. I think that is something that needs to add value, let's say. So that's a responsibility towards the new business line that we started relating with.
Okay, great. Yeah, and Adrien, in order to go in about claims management and after sale, what is the main key success factor? Because you are doing the business between Zhong and Tech, between the distribution and the carriers sometimes. So what are the key success factors in order to make frictionless the claims process?
Yeah. Apologies, some people behind me. So basically, there are 2-3 key points. I believe the first one is to find the right balance between crafting unique products that basically can deliver a fantastic claim experience. And I would really say, and I think maybe this is a bit provocative, but claims experience starts when the product gets sold, because it's deeply about the design of the product that you determine whether claim experience is going to be delightful or not. And I think this is one key point. It's not to be taken standalone. You will never be able to achieve a superior claim experience if you simply replicate existing products from other channels. It has to be deeply personalized, integrated into the platform, the super app, in order to also encompass a superior claim experience. I think that's the point number one. The second, and I'm very pleased to hear Carlos actually started to do life insurance as well. And I'm pleased to hear something where Latin America is really leading on that space. I believe there's a big difference between a once in a lifetime policies or event and a high frequency transaction business that is a super app. And in many ways, if you build products that are high frequency in terms of engagement and claims, you would also create a level of trust into the platform that will incentivize users to also purchase health and life products through the platform. I'm not sure if you see the connection, what I'm saying, but it's actually so important to really think holistically from a consumer, from a provider, what's their perception about the platform when it comes to insurance, and how to build this holistic experience so that whichever product they're considering, they will come to your super app to purchase it instead of another channel or a competitor.
Okay, great. And I would like to understand about Rodrigo. Rodrigo, when we talk about Chubb Studio, we have in mind that is a API solution, embedded insurance solution to sell. What about the claim process? Is it in Chubb Studio? Is it other kind of process? Tell me a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. Chubb Studio, yes, it's our core platform for digital insurance program across the world, really. It's a global platform. We have teams all around the world working on it, enhancing it, upgrading it, and bringing more products to it, more features, more functionalities, more technology. It's not just for selling, really. It's a platform that the entire customer journey, from awareness to quoting to binding to making changes on their policies, to, of course, filing claims or buying products, and as well adding other services, or what traditionally has been called assistances, right? So it's not just for selling. Platform. The Chubb Studio platform handles the entire journey, right? And that for us is key, because when we thought about it, when we thought what we could offer the market, our partners, and our customers.
We lost. No.
Can you hear me?
We lost the last sentence.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying that when we started and when we designed it and when we started building Chubb Studio, we understood from the get-go that the platform was going to be valuable to our partners and to our customers if it could handle the entire customer journey, not just the sales piece of it, which is obviously a key aspect, but for us, it's becoming more and more relevant, the claims experience, as we have been discussing, right, with my colleagues, right? And we are also enhancing that aspect of the platform as well, right? And the way we see Chubb Studio is really when we think on connected ecosystems, on working with platforms, on working with different kind of distribution partners, the truth of the matter is that the value that we could add is if the product makes sense to the customers, really resolves a specific pain point, provides a phenomenal experience across the journey, also adds a good, sustainable, profitable, reliable business model for the platform, and at the same time provides or makes the life easier of the platform developers and the engineering teams when we integrate with them. I think that's where Chubb Studio is becoming more and more relevant for us, for our partners, right? Where we can solve all those three aspects of the relationship, the customers, the partner or the platform, and the engineering teams and the developers to make their life easier when we integrate with them. That's how we see Chubb Studio, right? Having the capability to handle an entire program.
Okay, so yes, I think in the bottom line, I think that when we work in the medical insurance in SuperApp, claims management is key, and you are every guys you are working on that. So I think it's important to transmit that to the people. Okay, I'm going to switch right now before to finish with the breaking news. I would like to understand what is your opinion about sustainability and inclusion. We are talking about other topics, but I think that when we talk about massive selling in insurance, life insurance, super app, I think that we must talk about sustainability and inclusion, like new drivers of innovation. And I would like to understand a little bit more about that point. Perhaps Carlos, because I remember you were the first to talk about that point 2 years ago. So please, right now, what is your opinion? Do you think that inclusion, sustainability is a buzzword, a marketing word, or it's really key in the case of Meli?
Thanks for the question, Hugues. No, not at all. We think that it's a very important concept. It's not only a concept, it needs to be a reality. Basically, everything that we try to do has been our motto, our company motto for I don't know how long. Democratizing financial services and commerce has been what drives us from the start. And it's a 23-year-old company right now. And basically, the points that we are seeing with insurance is that we've experienced firsthand with our users, suffering vulnerability, the instability of our markets, and sometimes the fact that we provide a solution to the underbanked and people that have not had relevant financial services offerings maybe in their lives until they meet us. In this case, what we are doing with insurance is actually providing something that is relevant for them. When we do feedback in-apps, we do NPS, surveys, when we just talk with our users. I'm going to go to Brazil not very far from now, and one of the reasons of my journey is to actually walk the streets and ask some of the people in the streets if they have our products, and if they not, why, and try to understand firsthand what happens with them. So basically, democratizing finance, it's when you talk about super apps, it's not something that we kind of we don't typically would address Mercado Pago as a super app. We actually see ourselves as a digital account providing many financial services. and we want them to be as relevant as possible for our users. But basically what a positive thing that I see in the concept of super app is that I cannot detach this type of concept from the democratization of finance. These platforms are the most democratic thing that has occurred in the past years. So providing these type of services through these platforms is something that comes aligned with our strategy. So I don't know if I was succinct and clear. Sorry.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Carlos. Jose, Covergenius, that is a quite new Insurtech. How do you manage this topic of sustainability, inclusion?
Yeah, for us, it's critical. I mean, Carlos was mentioning democratizing financial services. What we do is to democratize insurance. We try to make it very, very simple to the customers to understand the policy wording, for example. Policy wordings could be very complicated. What we try to do when we embed insurance is to offer wordings that are very easy to understand to everybody. We don't need to complicate things. And equally, at the time, because we have a platform that handles the end-to-end process, which is Xcover, also at the time of putting forward a claim or an FNO, as Carlos was mentioning, it need to be simple, okay? We need to ask for the minimum amount of information needed to settle a claim. We need to try to settle claims, not to avoid settling claims, because that's how we're going to be measured afterwards. So that point of how we treat the customer and in plain English, explaining to them in easy language what is covered, what is not covered, and what to do in case there is a claim is very important. For us, it's even of paramount importance because we are not dealing with our clients. We are dealing with the clients of our partners. So, and that's why we end up measuring the NPS, not overall of Covergenius across all verticals. We even have NPS measured by partnership. We want to see that each partner is treated fairly. So the customers of each partner are treated fairly, because that is going to be of significant importance for the partner, to us, but also to the partner. And we need to take care of that. So democratizing insurance and allowing everyone to be able to buy insurance is the right thing to do, we believe. But also making sure that it's sold with plain English and making sure that the claims experience is simple.
Okay, so I think that to be more transparent and yes, more simple. Yeah, I think it's a great place. Okay, Adrien, I suppose that if you compare Asia, Pacific, and Europe, the topic of sustainability is a little bit different, no? The management of this topic is different. So what is your opinion about and how do you treat that in the case of Zhong?
That's 100% core to the essence of our culture, the philosophy, the strategy, the reason why we do exist, actually, which is all about, closing the protection gap. One of our company in Hong Kong, so this, this life insurance company, has a mission to make insurance accessible and affordable to everyone. If you come to Hong Kong before, you know how mature, savvy, high net worth market is. And if we've cracked such model in emerging countries like Indonesia or China, where you could actually be covering 50% of the entire population, we're very proud to realize and move the needle even in mature markets like Hong Kong, where our bank, for instance, after just 2 years, covers and has an account for 10% of the population within just 2 years, best NPS in the market. That's why to us, financial inclusion is really, the mandate we have. Every time we wake up in the morning, we want to make sure we move the needle, just also for the broader society, not just as a corporation. I think this is something that could fuel the growth, the value you deliver as an organization for the next 40 years to come.
Okay, great. Thank you, Adrien. Rodrigo, with headquarters in US, sustainability is key. I think so. So what Greenberg is doing in that space?
Yeah. So sustainability for us, it's at the core of our strategy, right? It's at the core of what everything that we do, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go home. It's as important as many aspects that have been discussed here with my colleagues, right? How do we make the experience better? How we make the product and services more accessible to the population that didn't have access before, for market conditions, for the targeting of the traditional companies that were always offering to the products and services to the highest part of the peak, right? And seeing all that revolution that has been happening across the world, really, but especially on the emerging markets or the emerging regions, Asia, Latin America, Africa, where we could see platforms offering different ways that they can reach the population, from education to finance to well-being, etc. It's for us, it's very, very exciting. It's been unique, and I think it's a pivoting time in history, really, right? Where technology has allowed to reach further sectors of the population that couldn't access all of many of the products and services before. And our mission is to help that, right? To be part of that, providing the technology to be part of those ecosystems, double down our efforts at the moment of truth, and all that combined. All that combination provides an excellent, pleasable experience for those customers. In our case, again, we are insurance manufacturing company, and then we try to partner with the best of the best that have the right unique experiences, and that's why we co-design those products as well. And we can offer products from to millions of dollar policy. It really depends on what the customers are looking, what are their needs, what are our partners and distribution partners looking, really, right? So for us, again, it's a very exciting time in history for the sector as well, and we want to keep on doubling our efforts and be relevant, right?
Okay, great. So in order to finish, I would like to ask the great question is breaking news. So I'm going to begin with Jose. What would you share with us about breaking news, something new? Because in 2 days, we will receive in Brazil, in São Paulo, Angus McDonald, CEO and co-founder of Covergenius, directly from Australia or from US, I don't know. So I think it's a good news, but it's not the breaking news.
No, the breaking news could be that we just acquired Booking Protect, who is a worldwide seller of ticketing protection. So that is a new vertical. It's a vertical that we have already started exploring in Covergenius, right, with the addition of the team of Booking Protect and putting that product under our X-Cover platform. We believe is going to be a tremendous success. You know, ticket protection is something that you buy when you buy a ticket online. That could be, with any of the platforms, Ticketmaster, AXS. There are several platforms around the world that offer ticketing, and ticketing protection is becoming an important part of it. And we are very excited to bring on board the team of Booking Protect to Covergenius.
Okay. So congrats, Covergenius, because because we are entering in a new era when Insurtech go shopping. So great. I think it's a good consolidation. Chubb, Rodrigo, breaking news?
Yes, in our case, we just launched Chubb Digital Services. It's our assistance company in Mexico. Let's remember that Chubb only does insurance, right? Now we are expanding our business offering, let's say, with assistances of our own, right? Normally, we used to partner with other assistances providers to enhance our products or to differentiate our products. So now we're going to have our own assistances company started in Mexico, and digital is part of the core of the business. How we're going to provide those services, how they're going to be added to our products and to our partner products. So we are very excited about that. Our new company in Mexico.
So congrats, Rodrigo. Yes, and I think it's a game changer because you add some value chain in your value proposal. So it's really a game changer, and for sure in Latin America, other player will follow them. Adrien in Europe, something new in Europe for Zhong because yes.
Yeah, so breaking news, I've officially made it to Europe since 1st of August, in charge of our entire Europe operations. We were already up and running, but actually now is the inflection point. Let's call it this way. And I hope, Hugues, if you invite me again next year or 2 years later, that I could share an amazing news about Latin America as well. But time will tell next year or next 2 years. I was a bit of the outsider this year.
Great, Adrien. I think that is amazing news because when we talk about Zhong, simply always we talk about China, Hong Kong, Asia Pacific, and right now Zhong is really a new actor in Europe. So we are expecting you in Latin America for sure. Yeah. Carlos, we'll finish by you. So thank you so much for to be with us. So breaking news.
Thanks again for the invitation, Hugues and my fellow panelists. It's been a pleasure. Breaking news from our side is that today we're launching our new personal accidents and assistances in Brazil. It is a product that we designed specifically built on our customers' needs. It sounds like a cliche, but we were planning to launch another product. And when we surveyed our customers, they just asked for this product. So basically we designed it specifically for them, and we launched it today. Few policies are circling now, and so far there has been no problem in the acquisition flows. So I'm gonna start monitoring it and see how it goes. But we're happy because it is when we do something that was asked and needed by our customers so clearly as it did with this survey, we're even more happy to provide and to launch. So that's actually today, super fresh.
So congrats, Carlos and Meli. And I think that the acceleration of Meli in Latin America right now in Brazil, Argentina, and I think that we must expect some news in Mexico, in Chile, and other places in Latin America. So congrats to everyone. So thank you so much. It was an honor for me to receive and to manage to moderate this room panel. So room table. So thank you so much. And Natalia, you can close this room table.
Hello, how are you? Well, thank you so much, Carlos, Rodrigo, Jose, Adrien, Hugues. It was an amazing panel. We had a lot of questions. I invite you, the audience who is in the other side of the screens, to join us in an hour in the next panel, Transformation in Insurance Distribution. It's in Spanish this time. So I see you there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.